What up, Laker Nation? Well, it's your boy DTLF. Welcome back to another pregame live stream as the Lakers get set to face the Portland Trail Blazers in a must-win situation for both teams, but especially for our Lakers who have been struggling. And join me live for this pregame breakdown. We're also going to talk about the standings where we're at right now. I'm going to be showing you guys where we're at and all that good stuff. So keep it locked right here. All things Lakers tonight, man. Again, the good news, Anthony Davis is lacing it up. The bad news, Alex Caruso might not. All right, he's injured with a bad ankle, so the injury bug continues to bite us. We already don't have a lot of ball handling guards. It is great that we have Anthony Davis tonight. It gives us a high probability of winning. So, that's all you guys need to know is that with Anthony Davis, everything's possible. Fix the camera. There it goes. A little bit crooked. Anything's possible with AD, guys. But we're still gonna have to play hard. We know Damian Lillard is a killer, man. We've seen him do it, before many times. Dame time. We know what it is. We have to come out, show out hard. We have to make sure that we get off to a quick start, because if not, it's gonna be a long night for the Lakers. We can't go on these dry spells. We got to run the offense through the paint. They don't have that many rim protectors. They have a couple of good, decent post players, but they're not really rim protectors. So we have to take advantage of both Drummond and Anthony Davis in the paint. And we got to limit turnovers, get out in transition, because our half-court offense struggles a lot. Now, Portland, with the duo of CJ and Damian Lillard, they asked Frank Vogel what he thought about the game plan for to stop Dame and CJ that we ran in the playoffs. He said, this is what Frank Vogel said. He said, it was very effective in the playoffs, but unfortunately, it's really hard to run the same game plan with just LeBron James. So that's unfortunate to hear, because we need to make sure that we come out here with the right mindset. We can't be making excuses already before the game. That's number one. Number two, this game has tiebreaker implications, and I'm going to show you guys where the Lakers are and what this game means to us, okay? So here we are right here. If you guys can see, the Lakers are currently number 6 in the West, and we're tied with the Trailblazers. So winner of tonight's game will get the tiebreaker. Winner of tonight's game, heading into the playoffs, will probably be number 6, most likely, unless they go on like a really bad losing spree. But overall, like, the Lakers have to make sure we come out here focused. We can't play games with this team, man. If the Lakers come out here, I'm gonna show you too what this game means. All right, I'm gonna show you guys exactly what this game means. Now check this out. We got the play-in tournament. This is the format. All right, I'm gonna break it down for you guys really quick. So we have, 7th and 8th place battling it out. Loser will have to play another play-in game right here. The loser will face the winner from 9 and 10 seed, right? So again, 9 and 10 seed have to win 2 games by default to advance in the tournament and have a shot. Then, the winner of 9 and 10 will face the loser of 7 and 8. The winner of 7 and 8 will go right here on the bottom, as you can see, and play the 2 seed, right? So it's very crucial, guys, because as you can see right here, the winner of the first play-in tournament game plays the number 2 seed, and they take the easier route in the playoffs, which means if you advance, then you face the winner of 3 and 6. Instead of, if you lose the first game of the play-in tournament, now you have to go up. Even if you advance in the play-in, you have to go and face the number 1 seed and then face the 4 and 5. So again, a lot of implications. And I actually like this format, believe it or not. Even if the Lakers do fall to the 7th seed, we're going to have 2 shots to crack the playoffs. So that's the good news, right? 2 games. It's not a 1-game elimination as the 7th seed. But other than that, I'd rather avoid it and just secure your spot, man. That's the best option, to be honest with you guys. But I just wanted to break it down really quick for those of you that don't know how the play-in is going to work. That's exactly how. You can find the chart yourself on NBA.com under the playoffs section, and you can check it out how it's going to go. Now, tonight is crucial because, like I said, whoever wins has a tiebreaker. So let's just say the Blazers and the Lakers finish with an identical record at the end. If the Lakers win tonight, we'd probably advance as the 6th seed. If the Blazers win tonight and we have an identical record by the end of the season, which we have right now, with 6 games left, they advance, and we have to go into the play-in. So this game is like our Game 7. I want to see intensity. I want to see energy Come on, Laker Nation, let's go. Let's get up for this game. I want to see the Lakers come out here and want it, right? I need KCP to shoot lights out. I need Kyle Kuzma to give me a repeat performance of last night. I'm going to need Montrezl Harrell to give me a repeat performance of last night. I'm going to need AD to be a real X factor tonight. And I'm going to need everybody to shine, man. Who are you guys looking forward to the most for tonight's game? I'm happy AD is back, but I want to see him play a comfortable game, meaning don't settle for too many jumpers. Let's get in the paint and do what we got to do. He said, rest LeBron, we need him 100%. That's what the Lakers are doing. They're not bringing out LeBron. So he said, Dan, I got to be honest, I'm losing hope this year. Too many obstacles to overcome. AD is the biggest. Wow, my man called Anthony Davis the biggest obstacle. No. Negative. Injuries are the biggest obstacle. And don't give up on the Lakers, man. Don't give up on the Lakers. Hang in there. I have a good feeling we're going to turn this thing around. I hope I'm right, but we'll see, okay? 6 games left. It's not a lot to ask for fans just to buckle up and, just fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride to the playoffs, but we're going to get to our final destination hopefully this year. And just stick with the team, man. Ride or die, the definition, man. You still see me rocking the gear. I went to the mall today. I'm out here representing. I have my Laker jacket. I have my shirt, my chain, looking all fresh, getting ready for this game. He said, we have to box out Cantor. Cantor's a top 10 rebounder in the NBA and makes a living off the glass and playing physical. Well, that's why we brought Andre Drummond. We need Drummond to do what we brought him here to do, and that's crash the glass, okay? We need him to come out here and crash the glass. We're going to need Anthony Davis to do what he does best and play like a superstar. I'm going to need 25 plus from AD tonight, and then I'm going to need 20 plus from Kuz to have a shot, okay? I'm going to need my role players to knock down shots and not to turn the ball over. If Caruso does go, again, I haven't got the final update, but if Caruso goes, right, if he plays today, I'm going to need him to play smart because he's been turning the ball over a lot lately. I don't know why. Sometimes he needs to drive and be aggressive at the basket, and he kicks it out at the very last second. So that is very irritating. Again, for those of you guys just joining me now, we got the play-in tournament coming up, and this is what the format looks like right here. As you can see, if the Lakers fall to 7, they have 2 shots to make the playoffs, 2 of them, okay? Shot number 1 is going to be right here, right? It's going to be 7. I'm sorry, wrong one. It's going to be right here, 7 and 8th place, okay? The winner of this goes on to move on to the playoffs. You're secured. And also, I think the winner of this has an advantage because you'll take the easier route in the playoffs, right? Same thing. If you're number 6, you take the easier route. You have to face seed number 3, and then you'll have to face whoever advances between 7 and 2 next. So that's not bad. Rather than face seed number 1 or 4 and 5. Either way, we're gonna take it the hard way or the good way. Regardless, we have to come out here, show up, and we have to battle, man. No excuses. He said, Dan, a Lakers fan, for us to beat Portland, we got to play 90s basketball. I like that. 90s basketball. He said, feed the paint, crash the glass, out-rebound our opponents, and play physical defense. And that last one is the key, brother. You mentioned it. The last one is the key. We have to play physical defense. That's the bottom line. If we don't play physical defense, we don't have a shot tonight. And so, Laker Nation, the Lakers just have to do whatever it takes to win tonight's game. And if we don't, if the Lakers come out here lazy, this is a Portland Trail Blazers team that doesn't go on very many dry spells offensively. So if the Lakers are on that plan, right, and they start going on dry spells, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get blown out. And that's the bottom line. It's going to be a repeat of yesterday. The Lakers cannot, I repeat, we cannot take our foot off the gas at all. Hey, 49ers Lakers, thank you, bro. He said, we'll be back even if it ain't our year. It's still Lake Show. Rip Chick Hearn. Thank you so much, brother. For some reason, the highlighter is not working right now, so I can't highlight your comment, but I do appreciate the donation, my brother. Thank you. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, I can highlight your comment now. He said, hey, Dan, if we get eliminated, I am going to cry for days. Don't think like that. Negative thoughts out. Confidence up. Thanks so much, 49 Lakers. Appreciate you, bro. My boy Kevin King says they need to play McKinney tonight because he is good 3 and D and more length against Dame and CJ. We have to dominate the paint. I agree, brother. That is the key. That is definitely the key. We need to dominate the paint and play solid defense. In the perimeter, they come out here and they do damage, man. We know what CJ and Dame can do in the perimeter. But my key to the game is going to be containing at least one of them. One of them is going to go out for 30. It's inevitable, okay? We haven't been playing good perimeter defense all year. One of the two is going to go out for 30 plus. The other one has to be held to under 20 points, okay? Because if you let both of them go out for 20, and then the role players are going to chip in here and there, it's going to be really hard to beat this team, especially since we tend to go on these horrid dry spells with our lack of half-court offense, especially without LeBron James to set the table. So, excuse me, Lakers just have to make sure we're focused both ends of the floor tonight. This is our game 7. This is our game 7. If we don't win tonight, more likely than not, we're going to the play-in tournament. And again, I just showed you guys the chart. It's going to be tough. He said, time to see who wants to step up. Dan, are you going back to Drum or Gasol? As a starter, I like Drummond, all right? I know he hasn't been the best as of late, but I still have confidence in him. I think as a starter, he will produce eventually. Off the bench, I need Gasol to be the first big man off the bench. And then I need Montrezl Harrell to play the power forward. But since Frank Vogel doesn't want to do that, and if I have to pick between both of those two, I'm picking the size and I'm picking the basketball IQ, the high basketball IQ and Mark over Trez, as much as I love Trez. And then we'll give minutes to Trez as well. But again, I really don't see an issue with playing them both. I don't know why Coach thinks they're both centers. You know, there's a height disparity issue there. Like Marc Gasol's 7'1", while Montrezl Harrell's 6'7" at best with shoes on. So again, I don't get it, but it is what it is. I guess if you can't shoot the 3-point shot in this league, you're considered a center by default. So I guess Sean Livingston under this offense would have been considered a center. I don't know. Hi, Dan. I'm curious to hear the encouraging quote from Nick Wright from First Things First. Until we get the report LeBron James is done for the season, I'm not going to be concerned. Do you agree? Now, I get Nick Wright as a diehard LeBron James fan, but this team has been concerning not just because of LeBron James, because of the injuries to everybody, and also their lack of chemistry on the court, their lack of team practices, the lack of proper usage of rotations, and just limiting those bad habits from picking just limiting those bad habits from showing up. It's a problem this year. So we have plenty of issues. However, the one thing I will say is we're nowhere near have we reached our potential. If we do reach that in time for the playoffs, it is going to be a wrap for the rest of the league. But if we still got a long way to go, we got about 5 to 6 glaring issues we need fixing. 5 to 6 at the very least. All right? Obviously, issue number 1, we turn the ball over way too much. Issue number 2, team chemistry on the court and off the court doesn't look too great this year, to be honest, especially compared to last year. Issue number 3, not playing Marc Gasol enough and calling Montrezl Harrell center. That is not going to fly, right? Issue number 4, I don't know if I already mentioned injuries, but I'm just going to say I did. Issue number 4 is the coaching rotations, not playing players like Alfonso McKinney and, just fluctuating the roster, never knowing what to expect. If we don't know what to expect as fans, how do you expect the players to know what to expect as players and to be ready all the time, right? Issue number 5, our lack of three-point shooting has really killed me this year, man. Issue number 5 is our lack of three-point shooting and overshooting. All right, I'm going to combine both of those issues into one. We cannot keep shooting the 3 if we're 9 for 36. Bottom line, we can't be shooting 15% from beyond the arc. All right. And the final issue, all right, the 5th and final issue to me is Dennis Schroeder, because you never know what to expect from him. He's a wild card. One game, 20 and 10. The next 2 to 3 games, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 16 turnovers. Like, come on, man. That's an issue for me. I'm sorry. And his body language on and off the court, the things he's doing, to me, those are the 6 issues the Lakers have to address before the playoffs. So I don't know if I'm being too hard on this. I'm not trying to be pessimistic at all. I always believe, but still, those are 6 glaring issues from this team. Dan, I hope I am really praying for. I missed this. Stacey, let me scroll up. Let's see what your comments seem interesting. Okay, there it is. Okay. Dan, I hope and I am really praying for the Lakers to go to the finals again, back-to-back Laker Nation champions. Let's go. I love it, Stace, dog. Love it. The positivity is very welcome. We need that, man. We need to believe. We need to believe. Last year was a perfect year. This year, Whole lot of different. This is not a quick fix, Dan. And I'm not calling it a quick fix, but if there's anybody who could set and restore order, I believe it is King James, and I believe it is the Lakers. I think we have enough leadership on the team to just reel the troops in. We saw it last year in the bubble, and again, this ain't a bubble, so it's a different scenario. But I think the Lakers can really pull their head out of the gutter and start playing properly. Lakers are still the defending champs. Gasol and McKinney have played a championship games and returning Lakers from last season's chip. Yeah, again, in the good words of my friend Q, who gave me the dopest gift I could have received yesterday. But in his good words, he said, "We're still the champions until we're knocked off." So no matter what, forget your emotions, forget about the recency bias. And what I mean by recency bias is people tend to forget what we have accomplished as a whole before we were injured, and just tend to point the finger and say the season's over. All right, this is called recency bias. Yes, we have lost 8 out of our last 10 games or something like that. But that doesn't mean the year's over. Last I checked, we're still vouching for a playoff spot. Last I checked, LeBron James is still scheduled to return soon. And last I checked, we still need to get eliminated in a 7-game series, which is not going to be a walk in the park for nobody. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, I wish we could just end the season now and get to the playoffs, but that's not the case. We still got 6 games left, and one of them, a very important one, coming up tonight. So let's see what the Lakers can accomplish, man. Any last questions before I get off, guys? I do have to go do some stuff before the game starts, so I got about 30 minutes. I'll take about 10 to 15 questions before we get off. Hey, Tyler, man, appreciate you, bro. He said, Dan, do you think Kuz should guard CJ or Dame to put some length on them? I think you can mix it up. I don't think he'll be guarding them full game for the full game's length, but I do think you can mix it up. You can throw Kuz here and there, especially if those guys are torching KCP and Alex Caruso, respectively. But Kyle Kuzma does an excellent job. You know who else did an excellent job? And I was very encouraged to see this yesterday. It made me kind of open my eyes to Wesley Matthews. All right, he did an excellent job on Kawhi Leonard, held him to 15 points. All right, I believe he was like 4 for 15 shooting. And he did a great job on him, contesting everything, even blocking his shot, ripping him out of bounds a couple of times. He did excellent. So I'm focused. I'm curious to see if we'll throw Wesley Matthews in there and see if he still looks as good versus the smaller, quicker guards as he did versus Kawhi. But I think we might have found a nice little piece that we can throw on players like Kawhi Leonard if we do face him in the playoffs, or even if we make a deep run, maybe we could throw him on KD. Wesley Matthews might be a nice little piece that we can mix in there, right, defensively. So I was encouraged. I do take the little grains of salt from games. That was to me the silver lining of yesterday's horrible game. He said, I was trained by the Lakers years ago in this kind of situations. He said, I live as a diehard Laker fan. If the ship goes down, I'm sinking with it. Let's go Lakers. I love it, Wolf. I love it, bro. That's the way you got to be. That's a real Laker fan right there. Should the Lakers just call it a wrap for the season and rest AD and LeBron? No. The Lakers never do that. We don't ever give up, man. Ever do we give up. This is an issue we had during the rebuilding tanking years, is that we had some fans hoping that the Lakers would lose on purpose, and that's not the Laker way. You can't give up. As long as you have Hall of Famers and just a great franchise background like the Lakers, you're not going to just mail it in. That's not an option. Kevin King, I agree with you, Kevin King. I've been fighting off the hordes of people saying we should just give up on to next season. Bro, the season is not over. I agree, bro. Thank you. He said, what's up, Dan? Lakers have to win. We got this, Tommy. I have a feeling tonight we will win. Of course, I had this feeling for the last 3 games or so, but I really hope the Lakers pull this one off for your boy, man, because I need a moral victory tonight. I need the Lakers to come out here and not just a moral victory, but a physical victory, execute. I love Damian Lillard and I love CJ, but tonight I'm going to hate them, man, because I need the Lakers to stop them at all costs. That's the key to the game. And, of course, we can't let some no-name player just step up and drop a 20-piece. That's another key to the game. But if the Lakers just come out here and play with the same intensity that when we face the Denver Nuggets, I think the Lakers will pull off this win tonight. Dan, what's up with Frank Vogel not adapting to the lineups? He said, I think, honestly, he's going to cost us a championship. He needs to be better. I'm hoping that he's, not showing his hand for the playoffs or something. But there's no excuses, man. He's been right. He's been wrong all season long. He keeps saying he can't play Marcos on Trez, and I actually think they would complement each other perfectly. He said, we are winning tonight. If you're doubting, you're a bitch." I like that, Daniel. I like that. That's right, man. That's the spirit. He said, we're putting AD and LeBron at risk for worse injuries. We have to think in the long run. AD and LeBron wouldn't play if they felt like they were at risk. Trust me, they'd be out for the season if it was really that bad. If anything, we've overprotected Anthony Davis and LeBron James, rightfully so. So I'm not going to sit here. Again, this generation is soft. I remember Kobe Bryant, and I hate to bring him back, but Kobe Bryant would play with broken fingers, all right? My man, that's the standard. That's the golden standard. He set the standard, and everybody else needs to follow along, okay? If that means playing through pain, no gain. Everybody knows that. You wear purple and gold, this is what's expected. You're not going to get a pass. Oh, Anthony Davis, poor back spasms. No, we should just put him on the shelf for the end of the season. No, that's not how it works. If he could play, lace him up. LeBron James, oh, poor LeBron, screw Solomon Hill, that poor ankle of his. I'd give him my ankle. Oh, put him on the shelf for the rest of the season. No, that's a soft way of thinking, man. Toughen up. Mamba mentality, no excuses. He set the standard. Everybody else got to live up to it. I'm sorry. This organization has given me 12 championships. As a fan, I've been taken care of. Lakers for life. That's also true. I'm very proud of what the Lakers were able to accomplish last season. I don't care what nobody says. That was one of the hardest championships to win, especially considering the fact of all the obstacles that were in the way, the horrible tragedies, the horrible deaths, the people we lost along the way, and the whole bubble situation. It was hard. So I'm very proud, but I'm not satisfied. We want more. We're spoiled. We want more. So I live in LA, but my team is OKC. Am I eligible for a dual fan membership? What? Wait. So if you're an OKC fan, why are you asking me? This isn't the OKC Thunder. This is a Laker nation, man. Now, if you're a Laker fan and a Thunder fan, you're a grown person. You know what you're a fan of, man. The only thing that's not allowed is being both a fan of the Clippers and the Lakers. There's no dual citizenship there. But other than that, or Lakers and Celtics. But other than that, I don't have no problem with you guys rooting for a second team or vice versa, right? That's no problem, man. You guys are all grown folks. You know what you want to do with your life. Who am I to say don't root for said team or said team, right? That's funny, though. That was a funny comment, bro. He said, LeMickey. Oh, there we go. Here we go. He said, all I see is highlighted videos. I like, haha, so funny. Definitely have never seen that. I don't know what you're talking about. I am actually rocking Lucky Lakers socks. We need it today. Let's get it, Angel. Let's get it, bro. We need all the good juju we can get right now. If the bubble championship was so easy, then what does that say? Then what does that say about the other teams that didn't win it? You're right. It was hard, man. It was hard. Hey, Dan, how's your day? I just tuned in late, but have you heard Barkley said the Lakers need another bubble to win a championship? Charles Barkley, man. Charles Barkley he's something else. He cracks me up, but sometimes he does get on my nerves a little bit because he just loves flapping his gums. But everything he says is always the opposite. We need another bubble? That doesn't even make sense. How does that benefit anybody? Who would want to be confined for 3 months in a bubble? Nobody, man. That was not the situational, but the team with the toughest mindset and the toughest mentality and the grit and the passion was the one who prevailed in the end. It was a tough task. Trust me, a lot of players were complaining about the food because that's how spoiled they are. A lot of people were complaining about just being there. I mean, some people couldn't even last. And, Lou Williams had to escape to go to a strip club. That tells you about, tough mentality. LeBron James, everybody, they had to be strong, man. They had to be strong mentally. It was basically like they were in jail for 3 months, but like a luxurious one, right? And so it was hard, but the Lakers pulled it off, and now everybody wants to hate on that. Please, cry me a river. A championship is a championship. Last I checked, nobody's counting this and saying we have 16 and a half championships. No, we have 17 championships. Hate it or love it. Hate it or love it, man. He said, didn't one player get banned from the bubble? Yep, Daniel House Jr. My man had a conjugal visit in the bubble. He put his whole team at risk. So, who am I to judge a man? But at the same time, they really shouldn't be talking smack about that championship. That was one of the harder ones to win. Hey, Dad, do you think the Soul AD lineup works better than Drum lineup? Because doing good and begging of the season with AD and Slow Mark. Do I think that lineup works? Sure, in situational matchups, yeah. I think there's going to be nights when Coach Frank Vogel has to go with the better option, whatever that is. I am pro rewarding whoever's playing best at every position. That's what I'm about. To me, it's not about who starts, it's about who finishes. So regardless, Mark has to stay ready, and I hope he does get a minute increase. He's been great ever since we landed Drummond. He was not that great before we landed Drummond. He was lazy, he was slow, and he would have a good game every blue moon or so, but people forget that as a starter, he wasn't so good. But once he came off the bench in limited minutes, he's done excellent. So I expect him to get rewarded with more minutes. That's just the type of coach I would be if I was coaching an NBA. Whoever's playing best at every position is a starter, and then the next man up. The pecking order depends on how well, how efficient, and how good you play on both ends of the floor. And that's exactly that's why I don't understand why Alfonso McKinney isn't getting consistent minutes. He has been really good for us since we acquired him. He went from a no-name to carving out a niche on this team as a hard worker, someone who can knock down shots and who can use his length and size for defense. Again, kind of like a poor man's Trevor Ariza. And that's what we need. We need that version of Alfonso McKinney. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for donations, likes, and for showing up today, man. I will see you guys right here for the post-game recap. Don't forget to please smash that like button. Again, always thankful to have you guys, man, for these pre-games. And we broke it down with the whole playing tournament and everything. So if you guys just tune in late, make sure you rewind the video and watch it again because there is some important information about the play-in. And I kind of broke it down for those of you that don't know how it works. Again, thank you so much. Go Lakers. Let's beat this Portland Trail Blazer team. We need a dub fast. Before I get off, let me read one more comment because my boy donated. He said, Patchy Cole, Dan, people really need to stop sleeping on Drummond. Vogel needs to use him the right way. I agree with that, and that's why I haven't been bashing him. I will admit he hasn't been the most impressive, but he's capable of so much more, and I think we do need to utilize him properly. I agree with you, Patchy, 100%. People need to lay off of him, and we do need to utilize him a lot better. We were promised to see that come to fruition when LeBron came back, but unfortunately, he only came back for 2 games. And by the way, those 2 games, if you look at Drummond's numbers, he did eat offensively. Now, he needs to get better defensively and more consistent at rebounding because those are his strengths. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thanks so much, Patchy, and everybody else who donated, like the video. And those of you that haven't, please consider subscribing and keep growing the Lakers familia. I appreciate y'all, man. I'll see you right here after the game for the post-game recap. Go Lakers. Let's get it, baby. And let's smack this Portland Trail Blazer team, put them in their place. And that's number 7. All right, guys. I'll see you guys after the game.